Hi, everybody. Guess what? It is mobility week for Defy Aging this week. So we are in week 40. And as many of you know, every 10 weeks we do mobility. So there we are. So we're going to have 5 exercises set up as stations. And we're going to go through that for 4 rounds. And we're going to do a full 60 seconds on. I typically tend to do longer work time for mobility week because the movements are very slow, controlled, and if you only do 20 or 30 seconds, you're not going to get a lot out of that. 60 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and again, 4 rounds of that. There are a couple of things that are single-sided, so having 4 rounds, we'll be able to do 2 rounds on each side and not worry about switching sides halfway through the set. All right, and of course, little team builder, fun team builder at the end. Let's get to our demonstrations. All right, we're starting on the floor. Station 1 is a side lying external rotation for the shoulder. This is typically done. There's not a better or a worse way to do it, but more standard, I would say, is doing the standing, like with a cable or a band. This is a great variety. I like it. So we're going to lay on the side, hence the name. Doesn't really matter how you put your legs, just comfortably bent. You need a relatively light weight. Like I have a 5, and I don't know if I would go heavier than this personally. So I'm thinking we'll be using some 2s and 3s. So start with the elbow pinned right at your hip. Okay, so step 1. You can let this weight come down, and then we externally rotate, we're rotating away from the body, but since we're on the floor, it looks like we're rotating up. So we go up. This is as far as your range of motion goes. Okay, so what we don't want to do is try to make it bigger than our natural range of motion does go. And in that case, we have to like rock, I'm kind of exaggerating, but I want to get my point across. We don't want to rock the body at all just because we feel like we want to get that arm farther back. So again, it's pretty small movements overall, really. And like I'm using a 5 and I'm feeling a nice little burn in my shoulder, like in the good way. So it doesn't take a lot of weight. And we want to make sure to keep a straight, strong wrist. So watch my wrist if you can. We want to make sure we're not letting it bend down like this, or we're compensating and kind of curling it up like this. So keep a straight, strong wrist. Okay, so we'll do 2 rounds on each side. For anyone not doing our floor exercises, as I mentioned, we do have a band way to do the external rotations, and let me go through that really, really quick. Okay, so for anybody not lying on the floor, you'll tie up a band, anchor it, single band to the rack, like that. Okay, and then it's the exact same movement as you can picture when I was lying down a moment ago. I was doing this. It's exactly the same. We're pulling out resistance outward with the band instead of using gravity to go up with the dumbbell. It's really the exact same. This one, though, it's kind of easy to do it incorrectly. If you're doing this option, I'm standing too far out, so the resistance is too hard. Keep this elbow pinned at your side. It's really tempting to kind of do this, and this isn't what we're trying to do. That doesn't create a rotation in your rotator cuff. That just kind of lifts the arm up and down. So just as far as you can, keeping that elbow at my side. See how I'm not letting it do this? Very important. So that is your other option if anyone is not lying on the floor. Next one is a quad rock back. We've done this before, and it's tricky. So the feedback has been moderate. I don't know that it's tricky. It's a great stretch though, and great for hip mobility. So we start hands and knees, and then we take one leg out. And I'll show you a different angle of this too, because it's hard to tell exactly, especially with my black clothing, like exactly what my leg is doing. You can put your foot on the corner of the foot like this, or flat down, whatever is more comfortable for you. Okay, and then we sink our butt back to our heel, keep the hands on the floor, and we come back up. So again, I'll show you different angles if you can see what's going on. Okay, putting that leg out to the side, coming back to my heel, and then up. The stretch, FYI, is on mostly the main stretch on the inner thigh of that stretched out leg. Okay, and then I'll show you on this side if that makes any difference. So leg out, see how I'm sitting back to my heel and coming up. Back to the heel, like I'm fully sitting. I don't even need my hands at this point, but okay, so I hope that made sense. So there's 2 options for Anyone not getting on the floor? First one is a little bit trickier. It's a lateral, it's called lateral squats. I don't actually know if that's what this is called. Um, it's almost like a Cossack squat, actually. But you stand really wide-legged, toes forward, not toes out like a sumo, toes forward. And we kind of alternate sides, doing sort of a squat on one leg at a time. The tricky thing with this is keeping the other leg straight. Watch my leg here, keeping it straight. A lot of people want to kind of bend it like this, and then you're not going to get the stretch. So if that's just not really agreeing with you, there's one other option for an alternative, and it is seated kind of towards the edge of something. Okay, so you have room to stretch this leg out and your butt's not in the way. Stretch this leg all the way out, so you can see it's very similar to that same body position. And we kind of come forward as far as you can, leaning over this leg. You can use it for support. It'll create a little stretch here, and then slowly release. Everything's slow. Come forward, release. That's going to be a more mild stretch, but it still gets the same relative effect. So a lot of options there. All right, we're going to get some good stretching with that one. All right, now we have a side lying leg raise with our mini band. So you might want to, you can sit on something to put this on, or if being on the floor works too, that's fine. Just at the ankles, okay? And we're back to lying on our sides, but this time we want the legs straightened out, so no bend in the knee, but we kind of bring them slightly forward, so it's just it's not even a 45 degrees at my hips. But as you can see, I'm kind of at a little angle here. It's not excessive like this, but we just don't want the legs straight out, because when you have your legs 100% straight out, it actually puts a lot of pressure on your hip bone on the floor, and you'll feel that if you try it. So just kind of bring the legs slightly forward until it's comfortable on your hip on the floor. And then we raise and lower the leg. You don't have to bring the leg all the way down, because that takes 100% slack, 100% tension off of the band, and it goes slack. So you can just come down until it is just about to release all that tension. And it's slow and controlled. We're not thrusting, we're not using momentum. It's slow and controlled. Keep the legs straight. Now, we don't want to start bending this knee, because again, that kind of takes away the focus. So keep the legs straight and take a rest. It's a minute long, and I'm getting a little burn here in the glute, so you can take a little rest if you need it for 3 or 5 seconds. Jump back in. Okay. It doesn't take a heavy band. Typically, the farther away from the center of the body you go, so down, hence all the way down by the ankles, it makes everything feel a little bit harder. So don't use, whereas like if you had it looped around your knees, it would be easier. So I have a light band for this. So pick a light to medium band. And if you're not doing our 4 exercises, you can hold on to something for balance if you need to, but I'm going to face you so I can talk forward at you. And we do the exact same thing. Try not to compensate too much by leaning. You'll have a little bit of subtle lean, but this is about it. So every time you do a rep, don't tip to the side. But that'll be your alternative if you're not getting on the floor. Again, 1 full round on each side, alternating, 2 full rounds on each side, alternating each round. All right, next one, we got a stability ball. If your gym has different size stability balls, grab one of the smaller size diameter. So keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe. So we put the arms on the ball like this. You're not like 100% leaning into it like a plank. Okay, so I'm just a step away. Don't overthink it. And start with the hands. Sorry, I should start with kind of the base, whatever part of the hand this is, on the center of the ball, because we need space to roll it up. And then if you get a little closer at the top, that's fine. And then, like, I was a little too close, I'm going to step back. And then control it back down. The goal here is the higher you go, the harder it gets mobility-wise on your shoulders. So, like, it's kind of sticking here a little, but I'm going to force my shoulders to go up all the way straight. And then control it back down. One more time, up. If you can straighten them all the way, great. If not, that's okay. Do your best, okay? So from the front, like I can't put the camera in the front of me because there's a wall there. But from the front, you're trying to get like this full straight position if you can. That one's kind of fun. It's like, it's challenging because of shoulder mobility, but it's not like muscularly challenging, so your muscles won't get fatigued. And it's kind of just a nice challenge to see how high up you can get every time. So let's try that. All right, the last station it's actually going to be tricky because it's a lot of body awareness. So it's called proprioception, where you can tell what your body is doing just by feel, kind of what your body is doing in space, in the space around it. So, but it's tricky. So it's a pelvic tilt, and we're going to do it lying on the floor. So you're on your back with your knees bent, and it's so small that I hope you can see what I'm doing. So we're working on tilting and then tucking the pelvis area. So I'm going to tuck my pelvis like in. So think of it like bringing your hips, or maybe bringing like your groin area towards your belly button. No, it sounds silly, but so I'm going to do that. I don't know if you can tell. And yes, my butt is lifting off the floor a tiny bit, but not my low back. So we're not doing a hip bridge like that. So if your actual, I'm using very blunt terminology, if your actual butt cheeks come off the carpet, the floor, that's okay. But we're not letting the low back come off, because then we're doing a hip bridge. So we're using the legs. What we are trying to do is just curl that pelvis like forward. Okay, and I'm kind of rounding my lower back. I'm like, think of it like forcing your low back arch to the floor. And now I'm going to do the opposite, where I turn the pelvis the other way and I actually arch my back. Now I have space here. And now I'm popping my hips back towards the floor. So, and you just kind of alternate between those two. Now I'm tucking forward, pushing back. And there is a lot of, you're alternating rounding and arching your low back. So here I'm rounding my low back. I can't get my hands under my back right now. And here I have a lot of space here. It's very subtle. I want you to think of it like a reverse cat-cow in our warm-up, because a cat-cow is a form of a pelvic tilt, sort of, because we are tucking in the pelvis, rounding the back, popping the hips back, arching the back. Like, this is the basic cat-cow movement. We're just doing that the other way, lying on the floor. So it's a teeny tiny movement. It's only a few inches. It's mostly just focusing on what you're doing. So this is going to be an interesting one. For anyone, it's not, and again, it's not muscularly challenging, so this one won't tire anything out. It's just like mind-body awareness, kind of. Now and if we're not getting on the floor, we are just going to do a pelvic tilt standing, which looks kind of silly, so, oh well, because some people think it does, because we're tucking the butt and the hips and the pelvis under, kind of bringing it forward, and then popping the hips and tucking it, or kind of popping it back. So I'm trying to get my hands out of the way. You can put your hands on your hips, but I'm trying to just get my hands out of the way. When you pop the hips forward, you are squeezing your butt, and you were kind of, again, trying to flatten that lower back. And then the other one is popping the butt out, creating that arch, and you just kind of go back and forth. This is such a good mobility one. It's highly underused, and it should be used more. I know, like, physical therapists use it a lot. So yeah, it's a little awkward, it's a little weird. We have 4 rounds to try it, and probably more than one Defy session for the week, so we got time to practice. Okay, and then I brought the camera into the office to do my closing, my goodbye or whatever, but I forgot the team builder. So the team builder this week is, we're all going to look really goofy, and if everyone's looking goofy together, then it's just, who cares? It's just fun. I'm sure people remember this from childhood, perhaps. It's been around for a long time. We're going to try the good old-fashioned rubbing the tummy and patting the head. I've been practicing, so I struggled for a while. So we're going to try, whatever time, 30 or 60 seconds on one side, and then 30 or 60 seconds on the other side. I recommend I don't know why, this might just be me. I don't think it's a scientifically proven fact. I think it's easier to start with the circles and then add in the pat. I don't know. This is going to be so much fun, because it can be frustrating when it's not working and things are kind of like, you're messing up your hair because you think you're trying to rub your head. It's going to be fun. Anyway, there is a purpose here besides just looking goofy. It's that kind of the proprioception, but that cognitive function. We're controlling each arm to do something completely different. So we got to work that left brain, left side, right side, 2 different movements, very focusy. So it's that cognitive benefit. So there is a function to this besides it's just fun. All right, we're going to give that a try. 30 or 60 seconds with, each hand position. Let's see how it goes. I guess I didn't need to stop that. So anyways, that is our week 40 mobility. I hope you enjoy it. Kind of kept the variety low with only the 5 stations, 5 exercises, but we're giving them a good amount of time, 60 seconds each session, I think, or each, set. So I think that'll be nice. But anyways, hope you enjoy this mobility week. We'll do it again in week 50, and we'll see you next week though.